Hi Aries, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your monthly money and career tarot reading for the month of January 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to keep the intro quite brief and begin by pulling a few messages, or a couple messages from the Soul's Journey deck. Alrighty. Oh, I do feel like you're a little bit stressed to a certain extent. Let's do some initial shuffling. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Wow, trust that you're deserving of the abundance that comes to you throughout the month. Trust that you are abundant in what you're going through. I feel like you'll get a reminder to be one with the abundance, to notice it, to acknowledge it when it's right in front of you or surrounding you throughout the month of January, giving you are a little bit stressed or just maybe finding it hard not to focus on the struggles or the obstacles, okay, or the difficult energies you have to cope with or deal with throughout the month. Very interesting. My lovely Aries, my strong Aries for the month of January 2022. Hopefully I said that correctly in the beginning. Money and career. One more. I believe that was the growth card. Ooh, look at you. Abundance coming out again. Self-esteem at the bottom of the deck. There's a true focus on how confident you're feeling, and at times doubting that you're meant to be successful. Needing to be completely honest with yourself as to why that is. Right? A focus on that doubt all the meanwhile. Feeling confident for the most part, but then dealing with a lot of abrupt energy, noises, and needing to be honest as to what needs to change moving forward to minimize the stress. You need to have patience when it comes to annoyances. There's something about you wanting, some of you Aries wanting to or feeling guided to help others. But interestingly enough, I was, as there was a very loud truck, I think someone's moving in, I couldn't really fully tell you. I'm seeing the self-confidence card left over from Leo's reading, and we had self-esteem. So there's a huge focus on needing to have that high self-esteem or bring it back, to be confident, to just believe in what you're going after, what feels right for you. The fact that you're meant to be abundant and successful. But yeah, there's a focus as well throughout the month of January on Aries needing to have courage to do what's right for you, to make a change, to potentially leave a job that isn't working for you anymore, or to just continue moving forward, right? Have the courage to be honest with yourself as to who is healthy for you at this point. Whether or not you need to adjust a living situation or invest in something financially to better your life in one way, shape, or form, or whether a specific investment is still working for you. It feels like for some of you Aries, you're wrapped up with somebody financially and that's not working out for you as well as you thought it would or should be at this point. If that doesn't resonate, please just discard it. But either way, look at what we have here. Beautiful, beautiful energy to come out for a money and career read. Success and abundance, and that's what you're reminded you're meant to achieve. And it's a month where you will get a taste of just that, or both of these. You know, success, abundance, options, money flowing in. It's a month to be in Aries, and I feel like a lot of you will find it's really difficult not to be truly confident, to have high self-esteem. And even if you do find it dipping at certain points, something positive, celebratory will happen. A gift of abundance comes in, a little more success with your business or your career takes place, and it's like, well, damn, I'm back. You know, reminded that you are one powerful fire sign, as I'm truly drawn to the color red here. A month of passion and needing to maintain it or bring it back when it need be. I feel like a lot of you will be giving birth to something new, and that is where the abundance and success will stem from. You need to have the courage to give birth to it, to take a leap of faith in order to seek out your own level of achievement and success, not how society or somebody else very opinionated around you would see your success coming to be. Does that make sense? Hopefully that wording was perfect, but did you notice I started to lose my breath in the midst of getting that message out? Someone, you might be spiritually messed with this month, or you might find that somebody just stresses you out to the point of you literally needing to catch your breath. You might even be stressing yourself out. I'm hearing if you have a presence on social media, when it comes to your career, your presence, your gifts, your skill sets are needed. Don't stop. And that might be what you're looking to begin. Let's put these over here. All right, bear with me. I'm now hearing making up for lost time. I do feel like a lot of you think you should have taken a leap of faith, given birth to something new a while ago. But it's time to make up for lost time, but it doesn't mean it needs to happen or take place in a very stressful manner. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It's like the time is now to proceed. The time is now to potentially take a risk, but don't allow yourself to, again, feel stressed all the meanwhile. There's so much to focus on that's positive for you. It's interesting because this was kind of fell into the last spot of the 6 cards. As you can see, we're doing a simple 6 card spread, but I don't feel like it's meant to be there. Potentially it's what could initiate a lot of progress towards the end of the month, but there's a focus at the end of the month on something that came to an end recently, whether it was at the end of the year or around there, or is meant to at the end of January. You'll have to let me know in the comments, but there's an underlying focus on what you're watering, what you're trying to grow at this time, what you've been putting your blood, sweat, and tears into, which came out in Leo's reading. It's meant to help you with this sort of death and rebirth within, this change on a soul level. We're beginning with the Empress. And so you begin the month of January, begin the year, and boom, you're giving birth to that new project, business. I'm hearing a hobby, or even just a job choice in general. Something that you know intuitively feel within is meant to be successful. And there's a reason this was put over here, is it needs to have courage to take that leap of faith. To believe in what you're giving birth to at this time, even if someone around you feels as if it's not meant to be, or it's not the perfect route for you, or the most guaranteed route to success. There's something about you needing to begin the month feeling peaceful in the process of giving birth to this, or there's something about you giving birth to it to acquire more peace when going after all your success. All right. However that ends up pertaining to you, it's meant to be successful. We move on to the middle of the first half of the month in spread, and we have the Devil. You're overworking yourself at this point. For some of you could feel there's a toxic energy in your midst. Let's clarify this one. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. A focus on a financial fresh start, or several fresh starts that are needed within this month. The Hermit. All right, some of you are working a lot and it's within your own hermit mode, or you're working so much that it's forcing you to spend less time with those you love. I need to utilize your wisdom, your knowledge with that King of Swords to make the best out of it, or to balance things out in one way, shape, or form. If this is more so a toxic energy you're dealing with, Aries, you need to utilize what you've learned over time from those difficult people you've had to deal with to cope, to sort of tread carefully. All right, or to eliminate them from your situation if possible. As a loud noise just literally scared the crap out of me, we're moving on to the third card of the spread, which is the Emperor. So, feeling quite serious, overly strong, or needing to dig for that inner strength, you make your way to wrap up the first half of the month, planning strategically for what lies ahead, your next move, or how you're supposed to make the best out of a fresh start, new beginning that lies on the horizon, or began towards the end of December, as I stutter, or the beginning of January. A lot of you feeling quite affected by energy at this point in the month. I'm hearing the ball is in your court as I'm drawn to what he's sitting on here, as well the earth, which is a circular imagery, obviously. But the ball is in your court as to how you proceed, how you manage everything you have on your plate, and whether or not you keep something within your situation if it's not feeling quite healthy, and that could go for an energy if they're overly stressful, even if that's just somebody that you're wrapped up with financially. The World. And so you make your way to begin the second half of the month, and you're reminded your world is changing. The beauty of completion, as we have this circle here, feeling like you're elevating to a certain extent. Whatever you're giving birth to is bringing more color to your situation if you look at these two images. and you know that, you realize that, but it feels like somebody or multiple people around you don't fully get that at this point. And they will when they sort of see you glowing more so moving forward and the successes that come to be. But that might be part of why it's hard for you this month to recognize or pay attention to the abundance, the successes that are taking place for you. Going back, the Emperor is side by side with the Success card. Whatever you're planning for at the end of the first half of the month, you will be reminded that it's meant to be successful. Okay? So basically, try to lighten up a little bit. Don't try to plan for it in such an overly serious way, if possible, because you know you'll be successful in the end. Or let this be a reminder of just that. We're moving on to the Eight of Wands. I'm hearing have the courage to embrace these changes that are taking place within your world, within your career and finances. And so you make your way to the middle of the second half of the month, and it's moving quickly. You know, you find that you have a lot taking place, a lot of messages coming and going when it comes to clientele, customers, or when it comes to somebody that's offering you a new position when it comes to work. And it's a moment where it's like, it's a bit overwhelming, a bit nerve-wracking, but it's meant to be. Some of you could even be messaging back and forth with somebody who's a bit toxic, or it could just, you could find that you are overworking yourself because of all that is taking place, feeling like you're reminded why you're making certain adjustments and changes all the meanwhile. And with all that's taking place and going on, you just want to retract your hermit mode once again, and a reminder why you need to light the way for yourself and not sort of rely on others to do so for you. Okay? You're going to see a lot of angel numbers this month as well. But making your way to finish up the month in spread, we have the wheel. And so an immense amount of progress takes place to finish up the month. Let's see how many major arcanas we have. 1, 2. So it's the majority of the spread. We have 5 out of the 6. That's amazing. And basically what that pushes you to remember, to realize this month, is big changes, big moves, big adjustments taking place, which leads to an immense amount of success and abundance once again. And you finish up the month feeling like you're on top of the world to a certain extent. And that's the vibe we get from the Wheel of Fortune and the World card here. All right? Feeling like you're balancing out a lot, but all the meanwhile, you're gifted so much abundance that you almost lose your breath to a certain extent. You almost can't even believe that this is taking place for you. You're like, wait, was this not meant for somebody else? Okay, wait, I shouldn't second guess it, right? Feeling a little bit on edge and a little bit frantic due to all you're trying to accomplish, but all the meanwhile, it's like there's abundance swirling all around you as you're reminded to try not to put your foot into that wheel, right? I've said that before in readings, but try not to stop it. Allow this progression to keep taking place, to keep, happening for you, but don't stress out all the meanwhile, okay? Again, there's a push to plan in a fun, enjoyable way as you wrap up the month, because it doesn't feel like you can stop this planning process. It sort of comes and goes as the month trickles on. And you're reminded as you wrap up the month of January that what you've been planning for all along, or throughout the month in general, is starting to pan out. It's starting to happen. You're starting to see progress when it comes to it. And I'm being drawn to I'm a limitless being. You're reminded that you can literally accomplish whatever you set your mind to at the end of the month. And damn, is that the truth. Wow. Let's finish up with a small making magic deck. This is meant to come out prosperity. A prosperous business with riches and success. Boom. Speaks for itself. One more. Philosopher's Stone. Powerful manifestation of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy. Absolutely amazing. So I hope this reading was truly helpful. Go have yourself the most amazing January, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Aries.